and a strap, but it doesn't have to be a yoga strap because we're going to use it quite small. And once you've got your props, come on down into sitting. And as you settle down into your seated pose this morning, let's come into Chittakash Mudra, where the fingers are interlaced except the index and the thumb. And you point your index fingers to the earth and your thumbs to your heart space, and rest your hands into your lap. Gently closing the eyes or softening the eyes. And feel, sense and imagine this morning that you're drawing your breath from the core of the earth. Bring your breath from the earth, drawing it all the way out to your heart space. Hold it within the heart space. And as you exhale, send your breath deeper and deeper into your spine. Wait until the body needs to breathe in, and when it does, draw the breath from the earth. Bring it to your heart space and gently retain the breath now. You could engage Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor. Lift and Khichari Mudra, tip of tongue, roof of mouth, sealing the prana. Then release the tongue and the bandha. And as you exhale, send your breath deeper and deeper into the physical energetic mind. Do this 3 more times on your own. And see if you can really settle into the natural rate and rhythm of your breath. Rather than taking a breath, wait for the body to breathe in. And settle into the natural pauses within the cycle of your breath. Next time you exhale, letting go of this breath awareness, have a sense that you have arrived fully in your body, present to this moment. And then gently draw your hands into Anjali Mudra at the heart space. And take a moment if you wish to dedicate this practice or you wish to set an intention for yourself, holding it within your heart space. Atha, Yoga, New Shasanam. It is with great respect and infinite love for ourselves and all beings that we now come to this practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Let's begin with a circle of joy. As you inhale, interlace your fingers and lift your elbows high, and even bring your interlaced fingers up to your chin and press your chin slightly down into your hands. And then as you exhale, round your spine, pressing your palms forward. Then rise up onto your sit bones as you take your hands to the ceiling. And then release your hands around your body. Notice which hands or which thumb you default to on top. Just be aware of that. Sink in the middle and then lengthen from your pubic bone to your breastbone, keeping the front of the ribs in. And then draw your elbows towards the back. As you exhale, soften your chin towards your chest. And then we'll lift the chin. And as you exhale, release your arms. Let's go into eagle arms. Bring that left elbow over the right. And then flow. You can lift your elbows. And as you exhale, you can curl. Now this morning you might find you come to a place and as you curl and you just want to stay there and breathe into it. Please do. Otherwise, if you prefer to flow, you'll inhale and lift the elbows. And see if you can actually take your hands away from your forehead this morning. And then as you exhale, curl. And bring the elbows towards your lower ribs as you curl. And then as you take your hands skyward, if you're flowing and lift up, see if you, rather than bringing the hands to the forehead like we do sometimes, keep the hands away. Notice where you feel the opening in the back of the shoulders, and the shoulder blade and the mid-back. And then the next time you come on up, pause. And let's take a double breath, opening the arms wide, short and long inhale through the nose, tense up. And as you exhale, let your hands just float. Double breath through the mouth. All the way back to your heart space. Inhale, interlace once again. Bring your hands up, press your chin down into your hands. You lift your elbows high. And then press down and take your hands just in front of you. Then scoop your arms forward, taking your hands skyward. Say hello to your side body. So we're going to play with lots of side body this morning. So gently taking your arms to one side and then open up through the ribs. Come back to center and then go the other way. You'll come back to center, release your hands. You're going to interlace behind. See if you can place the opposite thumb on top to the first round. Hollow in the front, so deliberately slump, let your shoulders come forward. And then lengthen pubic bone to breastbone, keeping the front of the ribs in as you draw the tops of your arm bones back. Then move your elbows to the straight. One ear towards one shoulder, nice and gentle this morning. You can even bring the shoulder up towards the ear. And then melt your shoulder down, bring your head back to center. And then go the other way. Doesn't need to be a big range of movement. Be gentle with your neck. Then come back to center with the head, and as you exhale, release your arms. Eagle arms on the other side, so right crosses left. You decide whether you stay still right where you are or you flow. And you can lift the elbows, keeping the hands away from the forehead this morning. And as you exhale, curl. Again, if you come to a place and you'd like to stay there, please do. Otherwise, keep flowing. Gentle breath. Following your own gentle breath. And then the next time you come on up with your elbows parallel to the floor, pause here. Take that double breath again, tensing the body, breathing in through the nose. And as you exhale out through the mouth, double breath. Let go of the tension, just let your hands float to your heart. And now find your strap. So hopefully you got the memo about the strap. If you haven't, remember it can be a belt because we're going to use it quite small this morning. So if you've got a yoga strap, fold it over a few times. And then take your arms up above your head. You're going to explore the side body and use this idea from somatics that if you contract one side or one muscle group, the other side has to let go. So you're going to go to your right first. So bending your elbows, can you draw your right elbow and actually draw down with your right elbow? So your left elbow is going to go up and you're coming into this side bend, but I really want you to feel your ribs opening rather than I could lean. See how that's a lean? Or I can open through the ribs, drawing down the right. And now let your left arm pull up on the strap to bring your hands back up. And then draw down with the left side. And again, we could lean, or you could draw down with your elbow, let your right elbow go up, and really feel the opening through your rib cage. And now let's flow. So draw yourself back up, pulling up with the right hand, and then keep drawing down with the right arm. Like your elbow is going to move towards your lower ribs. And then come back to center. And down towards your left. So you really draw. So I could lean down and just let gravity take me, or I could draw down with the left elbow. And now notice how you've got your elbows bent and one elbow high. And then could you start to roll your ribs forward and come to the other side? So now the elbow is high again. And then roll your rib forward. So I'm pulling on the strap or trying to draw my hands apart on the strap. So this should feel really comfortable in your lower back because it stays very still and it's your mid-back and your rib cage that you're rolling from side to side. And the next time you come back to your right, drawing down with the right side, stay here and let go of the strap of the right hand and place it down. And then gently come on over into a more of a traditional side bend. But again, see if you can really open up through your ribs, and you could drop your strap actually. And really feel the ribs open. Holding and breathing. And then let's roll the ribs forward, coming all the way over to the other side. Press the left hand down and out to the side. And take your arm up. And notice how we can go into a side bend, or we can stay here and really press the right sit bone down and open more through the rib cage. Keep pressing the left hand down and out. And that'll help you keep that right sit bone grounded. And then slowly roll your ribs forward. Bring your hands forward into a cobbler pose onto the mat. Come up onto your fingertips and draw back. And then slowly release yourself. Enjoy your cobbler. Breathing into the back of the ribs and the sides of the ribs that you've just breathed out. And then the next time you inhale, roll on up. Just notice which heel you have closest to your groin. You need to come out of that and come into Navasana, the boat pose. You might like to come off your prop, but keep it behind you. And then find your Navasana. So you can have the inner blades of your feet together. Bring your hands wide. Now you could stay still this morning, or you might like to flow. If you're flowing, lots of choices. You can touch your toes down, or you can keep your feet off the floor. See if you can keep that openness and broadness through the front of the chest and the softness between your shoulder blades. And then we'll gently come back to sitting and cross your legs the other way. So it may not feel as comfortable in your hips, so bring yourself back up onto your prop and adjust it if you need. And then bring fingertips to the floor and let's come forward again into cobbler arms with your hips in a different configuration. Draw back on your fingers and lengthen through your spine. And then soften and lay yourself down. Breathing into your resistance this morning. And then slowly roll up, walking your hands back towards you. And rock over your knees if you're comfortable, and come to your hands and knees. So as you start to wake up, no props. As you start to wake up through your glutes this morning, your choice. You can stay with me on your hands and knees, and then maybe lift up a little and take the sole of the foot to the ceiling, or you might like to come into dolphin. So your choice. And if you're in dolphin, time to get your socks, even though it's breathing this morning. If you're in dolphin, you can rise up, just hovering your knees off the floor a little. Don't come too high. And then take one sole of the foot toward the ceiling and pulse. And then release. Remember, if you prefer to stay on your hands and knees, then you'll take the opposite foot up, keeping your pelvis as level as you can. So squeezing through Mula Bandha, engaging Mula Bandha. There's tone in the pelvic floor, tone in your lower abdominal. And on your second side, if you feel like you're going to drop your pelvis, don't bring your knee quite so low. Work in a range where you can control the level of your pelvis. Or more on your second side. And then release both knees. Come into child. You can decide to go into a wide-legged child with your knees wide, feet together, or your traditional child with your knees parallel and together. Release your forehead once again. Breathe into the back of the body. And every time you breathe out, soften a little more into the floor. And then roll up one vertebra at a time, coming to your hands and knees. Bring the knees now so they're underneath your pelvis. You're going to take your left hand and take it up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, slide that left hand along the floor, threading the needle, coming into this threading the needle twist. So you decide whether you keep flowing or you hold. If you're flowing, you'll press down through your grounded hand. So you can take the left hand back up to the ceiling. And then thread it. If you're holding, slide the right hand back so that the right wrist and the forearm are in contact. Stay there, pressing down and forward with this right hand that's grounded. Or take the right hand to the ceiling, pressing the bottom arm down. And bring it to your tailbone or all the way around to your opposite hip. Whether you're flowing or you're holding, send your breath into the whole of your chest. So you breathe in with your diaphragm, feeling the lower ribs expanding. See if you can feel the ribs expanding, the back of the body, the sides, as well as the front. And then we'll take the top hand to the ceiling, the right hand, and bring it back down to the floor. Press down through your hands. Come on up. And you might like to come through a couple of rounds of cat-cow, and then bring to encourage a little bit of movement in other places. Tucking your tail and rolling into cat, releasing your crown. And then as you breathe in, lifting your sit bones. Feel the movement through each vertebra of your spine. As you look forward into cow, one more time, flowing through your cat-cow. And then make your way back to your flat line. And then coming to threading the needle on the other side, taking the right hand towards the ceiling. And then threading the hand with the palm up, taking it behind the wrist. If you're flowing, you come on up. You can even try just sliding your hand out along the floor rather than taking it to the ceiling. And then threading with the palm up. To play with a different variation and see which one serves you best. With your palm on the ground and slide that to the side, bending your left elbow. Then you come back up. With your palm up, you thread the arm behind the left. If you're holding, remember to slide the left hand back so it's in contact with the forearm. Stay there or keep pressing the forearm down and take the left hand to the ceiling or take it all the way to your pelvis or to your opposite hip. Whether you're flowing or holding, that bottom arm keeps pressing down into the floor. And then the next time you breathe out, bring the top hand all the way back down, pressing down through your hands. Coming back up, let me decide whether you want to come back into a round or two of cat-cow. And then come back to your flat back and sink back into child again. Maybe extending your arms out in front this time and walking your fingertips further away from you, lengthening through your arms, opening up through your shoulders and mid-back. And then planting the whole rim of your hands into the mat. Press your hands down forward as you come up onto your knees. Tuck your toes. Really press forward with your hands and take yourself back into your first Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So you might like to rise to the balls of your feet, moving your knees towards straight, and press both heels or one at a time. If you're pressing one heel, you're walking, so you bend your opposite knee. Come right up onto the balls of your feet, even towards the tips of your toes. Knees are straight, and then press one heel down as you bend the opposite. Slowing down. Side to side, waking your leg this morning. And then balance your heel press. And walk your hands back towards your feet. Release into your first Uttanasana, so bending your knees as much as you need to find your length through your back. Nod your head here, letting go of any tension in you. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, drawing your arms around you. Touch your palms across above your head and bring your hands to your heart. And let's wake up the legs a little more before we come into our Surya Namaskar. So take your hands skyward and lift up your right leg. I'll mirror you. Lift your right leg up. Take your right hand and resist that right leg. So it's moving to the ceiling, you're pressing down. And then super slow, let your leg melt down. Foot touches down so your heel lines up with your toes. And then you squat down, lifting your back heel. Like you're just trying to drop your shoelaces. And then press down through your feet to come up, hands above your head. Lift your left leg up. Resist with your left hand. You can keep the right hand up or take it out into a T or even bring it to your pelvis. And then release that left foot down. Lift the back heel, squat on down, press down through your feet. Once you've got it, you can move a little faster if you want. You're lifting up the right leg, resist. So lots of choices with this left hand. Then release it down, squat on down. Make sure your feet are hip width apart still. Knees track over into two toes on both legs. Hands come above your head. Lift up the left, resist. Slowly melt that down. Squat down, press up. Right leg. Release. Last one on the left. Resisting. Squat on down. Come on up. And hopefully you're at the front of your mat. And bring your hands to your heart space. Surya Namaskar. Salute to the rising and the setting of the sun. In and out. As you inhale, take your hands skyward. You're going to swan dive or you can roll down. Release into your Uttanasana. Release your crown, nod to release your neck. Then find your flat back. And let's step the right leg back and lower the back knee. Then press your pelvis forward as you're taking hands down. And then we'll flow here. Bring your right hand to your back thigh and take your left hand skyward. Then you windmill your arms forward and turn yourself into revolving warrior, turning to your left. You can stay with your back knee down or lift that back knee and press out through your back heel. And then let's flow. Bring the back knee down, windmill your arms. This time your hand could go to your thigh or maybe you reach your back foot. And taking your front hand skyward. Windmilling your arms. Revolving to your left, your front leg, lift the back knee if you wish. And release both hands to the floor, framing the front foot. Step back to plank. Remember, if you like playing with a three-legged plank, you press down through the floor, round your back a little. Tuck your left heel into your buttocks and go back into a three-legged plank, and then release from there. Inhale, let's come into a sphinx on this first round. Drawing back on your elbows. Lengthening your spine. Press down through your elbows a little more. both buttocks switched on here. Squeeze your glute. And then slowly release. You're going to inhale to your hands and knees, or come to plank and downward facing dog. Settle into your down dog for another breath. Then you'll take that right leg up and long and step it lightly between your hands. Lowering the back knee, tucking your tail and take your hands. Keep the back toes tucked this morning. And then you'll flow. So you bring your left hand to your back thigh. You could go straight for heel or just have it on the thigh. And then windmill your arms forward, revolving to your front leg, taking that back leg off the floor if you wish. Releasing the back knee, windmilling your arms once again. This time you might reach towards your foot. You might need to look down to where it is, and then you can look ahead. You're pressing your pelvis forward. Windmilling your arms. Planting the left, lift the back knee, revolving to the right. And frame your front foot, retract, come forward, release into your Uttanasana. And roll up one vertebrae at a time. So tuck your tail, go down to come up and roll on up. Bring your arms around your body. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. You have your strap close by for this next one. Take a breath in. As you exhale, swan dive or roll down. Find your flat back. Step your left foot back. Have your heel up and your back knee bent, and then come on up with your strap. So find your strap. And again, we're going to have it short. If you need to adjust it so it's short. And then take your arms skyward. Make sure you can feel when it's going to slide on. Yeah. So just bend that back knee for a moment and tuck your pelvis under and really feel like you're splitting the mat with your feet and feel your back glutes switch on. Same as we did in sitting. You're going to draw your left elbow down towards your waist and open up through your right. So to get really solid through your legs. Feel like you're hugging your muscles to your bones and the bones to the midline. Come back to center and then draw down with the right elbow. Come back to center. Good work. So keep your pelvis as level as you can. So feel like you're squeezing both glutes. That's why if you keep your back knee bent, it'll help you to engage your glute and come from side to side. Good work. Whoops, let me get, I've got too many mats set up at home. That's it. And then if you wanted to, so this takes a little bit more core strength, really press out through the back heel. Make sure your glutes switched on. You'll go down to the right, then you'll roll your ribs forward, go down to the left, so right elbow pointing up, and then come back to center and go that way one more time. So go down to the right, roll your ribs forward, then come to your left, your right elbow is really high, and then go back in the opposite direction. So see if you can keep your toes relaxed, the base of your toes that are pressing into the mat. One more time. So keep the tension on the strap the whole time. Nice. And then we'll come back to center and let's release the strap. Keep it close-ish. Take your hands back up. And notice that openness through your rib cage. Check that you're not closing down the back of your ribs. So really squeezing through your back glute, back knee bent. And then release your hands down. Framing your front foot. So again, you can tuck the heel in towards your buttocks and come back into a three-legged plank or just a traditional plank, your choice, and release to the floor. Let's take the fingers quite wide and come on up into cobra, squeezing both glutes. So be on your fingertips if you can. And slowly release. Inhale, hands and knees at plank. Releasing into downward dog. You're going to take that right leg up and long and step it lightly between your hands. Bend your back knee. You're going to come on up with your strap. So bend your back knee, tuck your tail. So that's what you really want to get through your pelvis, that your tail is tucked, that you're feeling the opening through the front of that back hip, and your glutes are switched on. Get solid through your legs and then take your straps slowly. And you're drawing down towards the left side first. Let the right elbow be really high. So remember, this is about opening through your ribs rather than a side bend. And then draw yourself back up with your top arm and then draw down to the other side. So keep tension on the strap the whole time. Come back to center and go the other way. Nice, really feels like I've got a lot of resistance between the hands. And so it feels like I'm resisting as I draw down. Resisting as I pull up. So resisting the movement as you pull down. And resisting as you pull up. Okay, and then begin to circle if it feels right for you. If it's better to stay with just side to side, do that. Or roll your ribs forward. Keep that pressure between the band or the strap. And when you come to the side, make sure one elbow's high, the other elbow's down. And then we could go back in the other direction. Keep your knee tracking over your middle two toes. Pausing on the side, one elbow up. That looks good. Challenge for your shoulders and legs, isn't it? So the idea that when we move out of our normal plane in yoga, you have to use your core muscles even more. And then when you're ready, let go of the strap. Bring your hands back up. Notice the lightness through your trunk as you press out through your back heel. Then you release your hands, framing your front foot. Retract, come forward, find your flat back, and then melt into Uttanasana. And then super slow, rolling out one vertebrae at a time, drawing your arms around you. And bringing your hands to your heart. Inhale, take your hands skyward. Exhale, swan dive down. Soft knees, flat back. Release into your Uttanasana, release your head. Stay there for a moment, nod. Let go of any tension in your neck. And then come back up and find your flat back. And step your left foot back. And let's plant the back heel for a heel down sky warrior. Pressing down through both feet like you're drawing them apart on the mat. Come on. So this is your sky warrior. You're grounded, solid through your legs. So both glutes switched on. So if you need to bend your back knee for a moment, activate your back glute and then press out through the back heel. Do that. Open through the chest, soft between the shoulder blades. So you might need to take your arms really wide. And then bring your hands to your heart space. Step forward onto that right foot and bring your left leg up. Hold here. Resist with your hand. And then slowly start to melt your leg back without touching your toe onto the floor. Find the front of your back ankle. Bring your hand into chin root at the heart space. And then start to press the back foot into the back hand. And that'll lift your back leg as you tip your trunk forward. You can stay here or extend your arm forward. Dancing Shiva. Then can you bring your hands to your heart space, keep hold of your back foot, and come on down to the ground. If you need to release that back foot, please do. Fingertips on the floor. Pause here and maybe bring your heel to your buttocks and start to lift your back knee. Then release your back hands. You're going to frame your front foot. Step yourself back here in your high lunge. Then from your high lunge, lift that heel, tuck it into your buttocks and come back into your three-legged plank, keeping that leg off the floor, that right leg. And then slowly lower yourself down. Now you can come from a full plank or a three-legged plank. Then we'll inhale into a cobra again with your hands really wide. You can keep the palms down this time or stay up on your fingertips. Both glutes really active. Let's flow a few times. Drawing back on the hands slowly, releasing. Then draw back on the hands again and come on up. Slowly melting down. One more time. Have a moment of melt. And then inhale to your hands and knees in plank. And release into Adho Mukha Svanasana. In your downward facing dog, hold. Whatever you're drawn to, heel press, staying still, side bend. And then let's take the right leg up and roll. Then curl it into your chest, stepping it all the way between your hands. So you're going to shorten your stance and plant your back heel. But still see if you can tuck your tail. So as you come up, notice how your pelvis and your lower back are vertical. You don't want this sort of scenario in your Vera 1. So tuck your tail. Then take your hands up. Remember you want to be as open as you can through your chest. So maybe take your arms wider. This is Sky Warrior. You're grounded. Well, I hope you put your left foot forward. Yeah, you're on your other leg. Beauty. My brain gets a bit confused with this side mats that I am using. So settle into your Sky Warrior. And gently bring your hands to your heart space. You're going to bring your weight forward on your front leg and bring, that would be your right leg up. And now resist your right leg. Left hand into Chin Mudra. Slowly release it back without touching the toe to the ground. Bend up the knee. Find the front of the ankle. Pause here if you can, really pressing your pelvis forward before you go anywhere. The side eye you can see, it's really, if you're tight through your quad, you could be here with your hip flexed. See if you can work towards hip extended or neutral, and then start to tip yourself forward, pressing your back foot into your hand. You might stay here, or you'll extend the arm out in front. This is another Ajasana, Dancing Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. And you bring your hand to your heart. Bend your sternum knee if you can. You're going to find the floor. And then when you find the floor, maybe with your heel on your buttocks, you'll lift the back knee a little higher. So find your edge here. That could be way down here on where you need to be. And then we'll release the hand from the back foot. Bring the back foot to be parallel with the other. Find your flat back and melt into Uttanasana. So nodding your head, let go of any tension in the neck. And you might start now with your belly and your thighs to move your knees towards straight. Finding your edge, you can even hold onto your elbows and hang. Making sure that the openings in the muscle bellies of your calves, your hamstring, not in the tendons behind your knees. Bend your knees if it is. And then let's create a shelf. If you prefer Utkatasana with a block, grab your block and bring your block between your legs. If you don't have it, bring your feet together or stay hip width apart. And then settle down, creating a shelf and bring your arms up. This is Utkatasana. So in this Phys pose or chair pose, what can you let go of? So you might take your arms wider, you might be more of a traditional pose. Open your eyes, open your shoulders. Check that your spine is parallel to your shin. Maybe go deeper. And from here, let's bring your hands into prayer pose. Touch your thumbs to your third eye and deep forward. Take your block out. We're going to use it again, so keep it closest by. And release into Uttanasana. Then find your flat back. And this time you're going to step your right foot back. And bring your heel to the mat and find a heel to instep alignment. And then windmill your arms around, coming into Virabhadrasana to a flow. So just look down to your alignment and make sure that your front heel is lining up with the back instep. You look to your future, you acknowledge every bit of your past, have yourself in the center. And then lift your front heel this morning. And as you lift your front heel, notice how that makes you engage that front glute even more. Feel like you're drawing the feet apart in the mat, pressing the front ball down. Looking to your future. Notice that with your heel lifted, that your knee is tracking over your middle two toes. And then release your heel and find your strap, and hopefully it's close by. And come back into Vira 2 with your hands above your head, elbows bent. Same scenario. So a lot of resistance between, like you're trying to pull the strap apart with your hands, and then draw your right elbow down towards your back. Stay here. So watch you not leaning back, purely side. The top elbow to the ceiling. And then draw yourself back up. And keeping the bend in your front knee, draw your front elbow down. So really resist. So your top hand is resisting as you're drawing down. Come back to center. Draw down with the back elbow. Lifting the front elbow. Notice your knee hasn't moved, so your legs are solid here. Come back to center. Draw down through the front elbow. Inhale back to center. Gently release your strap. And then draw your back hand to your thigh, just like what we were just doing, but really feel that you've activated through this whole back side, the right side. Pressing your hand into your thigh and your thigh into your hand as you take your top hand forward. You could even bend the elbow and place the hand behind. Virachandrasana. Then just like you're holding the strap, bring yourself back up and come over into Parsvakonasana. Feel like you're pressing this front forearm down and forward on the thigh, lengthening your bottom waist. Take your sit bone back, reaching your hands up. And you can lead with your little fingers. You bring your upper arm closer towards your cheek. Stay here or bring your fingertips to the floor. And then we move your hand down so that Both hands are on the right side of your front foot. And then walk yourself around so that you're facing the long edge of your mat and find your block or something you can lean on. So keep your strappish close to the other side. And then walk your feet in. And let's wake up the sides of our hips. So you might need to be higher on your block. And then stand on one leg. You'll have a preferred leg and start to take your other leg out to the side. Waking up your hip abductors even more. Make sure your foot's parallel. You can bend your standing leg. And then these last 5, turn your toes in, be a little pigeon-toed, and take the outer ankle bone out to the side. Nice, and plant that foot. So you want a flat back, so my knees are bent, the back is flat. So this is not your preferred side. So as you go out to this side, watch that you can keep the 4 car tires on this ground, on the grounded foot stable. And maybe you don't take the leg quite as far. Okay, and the last 5, pigeon toe. Remember that comes from your hip, not your knee. So lead with your outer ankle bone. And it doesn't have to be a big range. And then release. And for a moment, release yourself forward. You could stay with your feet together and release into Uttanasana, or if you want to go back out and come forward into Prasarita Padottanasana, please do. Let go of any tension in your neck, so gently nod. You might have your forearms on your block or on the floor. Keep your legs active, but feel like you're moving your inner thighs back. And then slowly begin to roll up. So you can walk your feet in a little if that's better for you, or where you are, knees. Bring your block with you actually, sorry. Roll on up, because we're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana at the top. So if you prefer a block for Ardha Chandrasana, place it there. I prefer just to put my hand down. Come back to Viratu. So check that you have the heel to instep alignment on your arms to shoulder height. Press out through your back leg. Feel how that hip abductor can engage a little more in your back leg. Let your front knee bend and track over your middle to toe. Then from here, shift your weight. Either bring your hand to your block or your fingertips to the floor, and you lift your outer ankle bone, like you're trying to lift up the ceiling with your outer ankle, and hold it. And you can stay here looking to the floor. You can take your hand from your pelvis, take it to the ceiling, and maybe you turn and look towards your right. See if you can lift your back leg a little higher, reaching with the outer ankle bone. And then slowly release. And could you come back into Virabhadrasana 2? And parallel or straighten both legs as you bring your hands up. Parallel your feet. Let's come into Goddess before we move to the other side. So bring your heels in, toes out, sink on down. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears. And then press down through your hands. And you're going to turn towards one side. Your choice. Remember to press the opposite base of your thumb into your inner thigh. Keeping your knee tracking over the middle toe. Come back to center. And then come to the other side. Notice, do you bend the elbow you're turning towards, or do you keep it straight? Then we'll come back to center. You're going to prepare to come to the sequence on the other side. So if you're using your block, bring it to the other side. And then roll yourself up. You're going to turn your right toes out, your left toes in. Find your heel to instep alignment. And then let your front knee bend and let it track over your middle 2 toes. So remember, you might even need to caterpillar your front foot forward because you want to find the place where your knee is stacking in line with your ankle or behind, and definitely over your middle two toes. If it's not, let your back hip come forward, arms come out. Look to your future, acknowledge every bit of your past. Feel like you're drawing your feet apart on that. It helps if you press the front heel down and forward. You choose. You can just stay there and hold, or otherwise find your strap. Holding on with your strap above your head. Feel like you're creating, like you're trying to pull your hands apart and the strap is resistant. And then draw the left elbow down towards the back leg. Press the outer blade of the foot with more. So watch you not going into a back bend here because it's all about your side body. You need to tuck your tail, draw your front ribs in. Then draw yourself back up with your front elbow, right elbow, and then draw the right elbow down, keeping the left elbow high. Remember again, watch you not rolling back or forward. And then draw yourself up. And bringing the right elbow towards your back leg. That's where you've got to watch here. Draw your belly in, watch you're not going into the back leg. Come back up. And down. Flow. Keep pressing the outer blade of the back foot into the mat. This time when you take the back elbow towards that back leg, let go of the strap, take it with you, bring your hand onto your back thigh. Virachandrasana. You can look ahead. You can look back to the strap of the back end. Maybe you can bend the top elbow. And you might even like to come back if you've still got the strap in your hand to get that sense of pulling on the strap to bring yourself back up. And draw your arm down, keep coming. Parsvakonasana. Now you might let go of your strap. Press your forearm down and forward, lengthening your quad. You could go straight into a bound version if you wish. Take your hand vertical or take it over your ear. Leading with your little finger. Bring your fingertips down to the floor if you wish, or your block. Parsvakonasana. You're going to use your block for Ardha Chandrasana. You might place it in position now. And then windmill your arms and come all the way back up into your Virachandrasana. Feel like you're drawing your feet apart on the mat. Looking to your future. Acknowledging your past. Staying very present in the center. And then let's flow over into Ardha Chandrasana. So you might bring your back hand to your thigh, shorten your stance. Either come down onto your block or bring your fingertips to the floor. And then you lift your back leg and you're trying to lift your outer ankle bone up towards the ceiling, like you're trying to hold the roof up. And then you can take your back hand towards the ceiling. You can look to the floor, or maybe you start to look towards your left. Could you come back and land lightly into Virabhadrasana too? Press your front heel down and forward. Then bring your hands above your head, parallel your feet, and bring your hands to your heart space. And let's walk the feet together. Standing in Tadasana for a moment. You can be in the middle of your mat if you wish, wherever you want to be. Close your eyes or soften your eyes and feel the effects of that standing posture thus far. And gently come down into an easy squat, if that's right for your knees. And squeeze your thighs together, so walk your feet in so your feet and your ankles are together. And then let's come into a side twist. So taking your hands towards your left. And if you wanted to balance here, you could walk your hands out a little further. So if you need to be higher for your knees, it makes it a bit trickier. So Kathy, you might want to just practice a twist. And then if you want to arm balance, come forward into crow. But if you can be down in that deep squat, take your hands quite a fair way away from you. And imagine you're trying to make fists with your hands and then bend your elbows. And you need to be able to chuck your elbows into the side of your body. So one might be in your leg, one might be in your hip. And then you rock forward and maybe you lift your hip. And slowly come back down. Have a little play. So we'll all have a preferred side. Sorry, I directed you, but you'll all have one side that's easier to twist to. So it's always going to be easier to arm balance that side. And so as you turn to the second side, see if you can really come into your twist. Then your hands are a fair way away from you. So you can then bend your elbows and chuck your elbows into the sides of the body. Really squeeze in. Then you rock forward and maybe lift your feet. If you want to play with your crow in front, feel free. Like, it's nice to see you playful with that this morning. And then release your feet to the floor. Sit for a moment in Vajrasana. For those of you who have to work early, it's almost 7. So you might decide to come onto your back and come into bear cow. And then an inversion of Shavasana. If you're staying with me, let's use the strap again and come into Gurukasana. So bring your feet out in front, and you'll need a blanket or a cushion. So if you've got a blanket, just fold it again. And we'll place it on your left side. So take your left foot all the way underneath and line that pubic bone up. Your knee up with your pubic bone if you can. Then it really doesn't matter where the right leg comes to. And you'll notice that the left sit bone is lower. So sometimes all you need to do is just move the flesh a little, or you take your blanket and sink it underneath that side. And then say hello to your feet this morning, massaging along your feet. And then closing your eyes, settle within. Notice how you're in the middle of your sit bones and the front of your ribs are drawing inwards. And maintaining that, if you needed to go deeper, you could come forward from the pelvis. Try not to get ahead of yourself, so keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. And once you find your edge, settle here, you keep holding your feet, or maybe you bring your forearms to the floor. And then your breath into the system. And then slowly roll back up one vertebrae at a time. You're going to stay in the pose, find your strap. Again, let's keep it on the short edge for a moment. Take your arms up high, bend your elbows, and take the right elbow down first. Sorry, that would be that way. Take your right elbow down and really draw it down, opening up through the left side of your ribs. Make sure you're not straining your neck, so you might look diagonally down, holding and breathing. And come back up and go the other way. And so rather than just leaning, so it's not a lean over to the side, you're drawing down with your elbow to really open up through your ribs. So feel your ribs move out to the side and breathe in to those right ribs. And then come back up to the top and then take your strap and release it down over your left shoulder. And then you'll bend the left elbow and find the strap. And watch as you draw your elbow back that the front of your ribs is still staying in. You check that with your hand. And then take your back hand around and find your strap. So even though you might be able to meet your fingers, hold the strap. And again, pull your hands apart on the strap, just like we have been above. And then feel like you're lifting your top elbow and drawing your bottom elbow apart. And you can either look ahead, you can follow the line of the left elbow, or look down toward the floor. Nod your head a few times, make sure there's no tension at the base of the skull. And find a comfortable resting position for your head. Breathing into the resistance. And slowly releasing your arms. Pause for a moment if you're comfortable here, or come out of it first and pause. Feeling the effects of Bhumikasana. Then lean back into your hands, and if you'd like to release your legs and come into reverse table between, you're free. Pressing down through both hands, drawing your pelvis skyward. You can look between your knees, or if your breastbone lifts, you can look to the ceiling. Just notice how your left shoulder feels compared to your right. And then come on down. And then swap over. So this time the right foot comes underneath first. You bring the knee so it lines up with your pubic bone. And then it doesn't matter where the left leg goes. So you might end up with your feet up to the side, or you might have your foot in front, wherever you need it. And then move the flesh on that right side, or chop your blanket underneath. Take your strap, and we're just going to hold a shortened piece of it, so it doesn't matter if it's all folded up. Let's open through the shoulders first before we go down. So bend your elbows and draw the left elbow down towards the ribs, opening the right side. Come back to center. So a lot of tension on your strap. Draw the right elbow down and the left elbow up. And just follow from side to side, or hold, your choice. Watch there's no strain in your neck, so you might need to look ahead. Chin is soft, or maybe look diagonally down. Now let's reverse our order on this one. So let's take the right hand down and the strap over that right shoulder blade. Check that you're drawing the front of your ribs in, so if you need to bring your hand or two. And then take the left hand around. Find that strap. And draw your hands apart on the strap, lifting the top elbow and the bottom elbow away from one another. And you can look ahead, you can look diagonally down, or maybe you follow the line of your elbow. Nod your head a few times. Make sure your neck's relaxed. And gently releasing the strap. You could come back to your feet, or if you know you want to just come a little deeper and come forward and bring your fingertips to the floor and melt yourself forward. Remember to keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. You might stay here in your fingertips, or maybe you sink a little more. And you find your resting edge, really send your breath into your body, focusing your third eye. And then slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Pause as you come to the top. Feeling the effects of Gurukasana. And gently unravel your legs. Let's come into Navasana, the right clothes. So come towards the front of your mat, because then you'll be able to roll through the spine. Come to the top of the mat. Roll go side on. And bring the soles of your feet together. Press the soles of your feet in. You can even hold on behind your legs this morning, or then separate the hands. This is Navasana, the right pose. And then you'll hug yourself in, maybe even hold it on with your forearms, and you're going to roll through your spine. And as you roll through your spine, notice this morning, what would you like to do for your inversion? Because if you're going to come into, excuse me, Viparita Karani, and you could roll straight into Viparita Karani. Remember, you need to bring the pelvis back into your hands, your buttocks back into your hands. So you're pressing your upper arms down from your shoulders to your elbows. If you're going to come into legs up the wall, enjoy legs up the wall. Keeping your head in center, looking towards your knees. Let your in-breath and your out-breath be balanced. When you need to come out of your Viparita Karani, stay a little longer for you. You're going to slowly roll down. You might go straight into Shavasana, or you might like to come into a cross-legged twist. You come into a twist, you're going to cross your left leg all the way over your right. Pick up your hips, scooch them slightly to the left. And then roll your pelvis to the right. Keeping both shoulder blades grounded. When you're there, you might separate your legs, even straighten the top leg if you prefer. Create space between the armpit and the pelvis as you breathe in. And as you exhale, soften into the clothes a little more, maybe turning the look away from your knee. And gently come back to center. And then cross your legs, cross them the other way. You pick up your pelvis and scooch it over towards the right, and then release to the left. Keep your shoulder blades grounded. Remember, if you're not quite there, you can bend your elbows, press down through your elbows, lift your chest, and rotate your ribs so that you can keep your shoulders down. Once you're in the twist, you can separate your legs, or maybe keep your legs together this morning. And then we'll gently come back to center. And cross your legs and prepare yourself for Shavasana. Taking your time to get warm. having a blanket underneath your knees or a bolster under the knees, or even taking your legs up and having a right angle at your knees and your hips on your couch. And as you settle down onto the floor this morning, notice. Start to witness your body lying on the floor. Witnessing the effects of this practice. Become aware of the weight of the back of the head on the floor. Notice the points of contact between the shoulder blades and the ribs. Feel the whole of your rib cage in contact with the floor. The back of the body. Notice your lower back. Any points of contact, any space. Weight on the back of the pelvis. The points of contact down your legs. All the way to your heels. Feel like you breathe into all of your points of contact from your feet and your hands all the way back up to your head. And as you breathe out, consciously give your weight. Consciously receive support. Bring your awareness this morning to your chest and your ribs. We explored a lot of the side of our rib cage this morning. And so as you breathe in, feel, sense, and allow the breath to feel the front, the sides, and the back of your lower ribs. Expanding all of the lower lobes of your lungs. And as you breathe out, feel, sense the diaphragm relaxing, the lower lungs releasing, and all the muscles between your lower ribs softening. Like you have a scarf around your lower ribs and your upper abdomen. Feel the breath expanding, like it's trying to touch the scarf from the inside out. And notice how when you breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes and everything follows. Gentle abdominal breath. Allow it to lure you into that deep well of spaciousness. At the end of every exhaling breath. And allow your body to rest here. And then very gently start to bring your awareness back to your body lying on the floor in this room. Notice your imprint and begin to lengthen the inhaling breath and draw it from the core of the earth. Bring it to your navel and let it spread into every single cell in your body. Then collect the breath back from every cell. Bring it to your navel and send it like an anchor or a root deep into the earth, grounding you into your body, into the floor, and into the earth way down below you. Keep breathing with this grounding breath and begin to move whatever way you feel guided. It might be really gently, and rubbing your thumb across your fingers and wiggling your toes. Or maybe you want to take your arms above your head and stretch long like an arrow, even yawn. And gently make your way over onto your preferred side and pause there, feeling the weight of the body grounding you. Make your way back into a seated pose. And if you're comfortable in Vajrasana, come to Thunderbolt, where you sit your buttocks on your heels. And let's come back into that Chitta Kasha Mudra where the fingers are interlaced except the index and the thumb. And you point the index fingers to the earth and the thumbs towards your heart space. Gently softening or closing the eyes. Mental alternate nostril breathing. Feel, sense and imagine that as you breathe in through the left nostril, you're drawing your breath through the whole left side of your body. Bring it to your third eye, the point between your eyebrows. Lift it to your crown. And then as you feel, sense and imagine that you exhale through the right, send your breath through the whole right side of the body. As you breathe out through the right nostril. And you'll inhale through the right. Gently retaining the breath. Wait until the body needs to breathe out and exhale through the left. Wait until you need to breathe in through the left nostril. As you retain the breath, you could engage Mula Bandha and Khechari Mudra. You release the thunder and the tongue and exhale through the right. Inhaling through the right. Retain with or without the bandha and the tongue seal. Exhale through the left. Do one more on your own. Letting go of this mental alternate nostril breathing and witness its effect. And let's finish this practice with 3 arms, drawing your hands into Anjali Mudra. Take a moment if you wish to dedicate this love. And then we'll rub the palms together. Inhaling as you open your hands wide. It is with great respect and infinite love that we now conclude this practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I honour that place in you where light, love and truth dwell. For when you rest in that place in you and I dwell in that place in me, we are one. Namaste.